All right, well, good morning, Vandals. It's been well over 2 years since we gathered for a State of the University address, and it's great to be back with you, both in person and with those joining us online today. Much has changed, and who would have thought 2 years ago that we'd have robots roaming across campus, delivering sandwiches to our offices and playing the fight song, right? I want to start today with gratitude. Thank you for the hard work each of you does each and every day, and for your commitment to our students, our state, and each other. Because of your efforts, we are a university on the rise. Because of your efforts, we remained open. And because of your efforts, we emerged financially stronger and with more momentum than when we entered the pandemic. Some of our faculty recently participated in an open forum with our regents. They reported that discussions with their peers at other institutions that remained online throughout the pandemic disclosed that those institutions have emerged weaker, not stronger, on many fronts, from financial strength to advancements in their research to enrollments. We are all tired from the demands placed on us throughout the pandemic, but there is much to be proud of, and there's much to be optimistic about. As I highlight several areas where we've excelled, I want to emphasize the interdependency of our three pillars: student success, research, and telling our story, and how they create a virtuous circle of achievement. Telling our story and controlling our narrative helps with recruitment. Our enrollment gains fuel student success and advancements in research, as colleges are able to invest in student scholarships, doctoral students, personnel, equipment, and facilities, which in turn gives us more great stories to tell. Our university's success required a shared commitment to these priorities, and I'm grateful for the teamwork and dedication of our entire community, our faculty, staff, students, alumni, and volunteers over the past year. The Vandal family made it happen. Our enrollment continues to trend in the right direction. In 2021, we welcomed the largest freshman class since 2016. New student enrollment was up more than 16%, and total enrollment was up nearly 5%. Grad student enrollment increased 8.2%, plus Idaho WWAMI remains full at 40 students per class. Law took in more than 100 new students due to the closure of Concordia. And our law school is now operating at a surplus, and at the new facility at 501 Front Street in Boise, it positions us for future growth. Early enrollment numbers for the fall of 2022 are exciting. Our applications are up 34%, and our admissions are up 18% over the same time last year. We're working hard to turn these admissions into enrollments. Our Idaho Bound event saw well over 300 students visit our campus in March. Nearly 400 students experienced what it means to be a Vandal this weekend, another record-breaking Idaho Bound event. We set new campus visit records almost every month. It's very early, but our enrollments from these events are tracking well ahead of where we were at this same time last year. We remain committed to Idaho students. 70% of our students are from Idaho high schools. Our Vandal Promise scholarship offers up to $5,000 each year to high-achieving yet financially challenged students from across Idaho. It supports students for up to 5 years, allowing them to focus on earning their degree rather than worrying about how they're going to pay for tuition. This amount is based on the typical funding gap we see for students who are in state-supported scholarships and Pell Grants. And today, we've awarded 81 of these scholarships, totaling $2 million. We continue working to raise private funds to expand the program for our hardworking students who would otherwise not be able to afford higher education. You've seen it and you've heard it often, but it bears repeating. The U of I was named the #1 best value of any public university in the West by U.S. News and World Report for the second straight year. We passed the University of Virginia last year, and now we're #2 nationally, only behind the University of North Carolina. One of our students, speaking to our regents in an open forum on our campus last week, said he came here because it's cheap. He went on to explain his amazing experience, though, and proving that this ranking recognizes the quality of our programs in comparison to the net cost to students. Our citizens have access to an affordable, world-class teaching and research institution in their own backyard. Research is paramount to our mission, and we're progressing on our goal of Carnegie R1 classification. The goal is ambitious, but within reach. We continue to perform well against R1 universities for grants. We had about $113 million in research expenditures last year. Earning R1 classification will benefit our entire university community and the state of Idaho by allowing our faculty to better compete for large research grants and bring more federal dollars into the state. Cybersecurity is just one area where we're working to meet workforce demands and partnering with industry to advance research. We know that Idaho's need for cybersecurity professionals continues to increase, and the U of I is moving quickly to prepare them. The number of jobs in cybersecurity has increased 160% since 2015. In 2021, we launched a master's degree in cybersecurity to complement our bachelor's degree introduced in 2020. Our PhD in cybersecurity is planned for next year and will increase our capacity for research and publications in this growing academic field. We're collaborating with our partners at Idaho community colleges and our fellow four-year schools to create pathways to these degrees, so students throughout the state can train to defend our cyber systems. The U of I has long been a national leader in the field and continues to build partnerships with industry leaders like Schweitzer Engineering. SEL has invested $2.5 million in cyber programs and research at the U of I that will help secure these automated power systems. We look forward to further collaboration with SEL for our students and faculty in cybersecurity. Earlier this spring, we celebrated the opening of the state-of-the-art seed potato germplasm laboratory right here on our own Mount Moscow campus. Work here will address greater demand for plantlets and mini tubers and increase production by 3 times in the next 5 years. Approximately 60% of all the potatoes grown in the country and 90% of those in Idaho can be traced back to our laboratory. This facility is a big win for Idaho agriculture, and we're thankful for the investment by the state of Idaho and our industry partners that made it possible. Last year, we won an $18.9 million grant from the National Science Foundation to fund a deep soil Ecotron lab that will be built on our Moscow campus. I cannot overstate the importance of this facility to our state and our country. This unique, world-class research lab will bring scientists from around the planet to study soil at depths up to 10 feet. This research will have major implications for carbon capture, agriculture, plant health, water quality, biology, environmental science, and more. The Confluence Lab, launched in March of 2019, uses the tools of the humanities and the arts to complement scientific knowledge and engage environmental issues in Idaho. Projects funded by the National Science Foundation and the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation focus on fire in the American West, working with communities and educators to gather personal stories of fire and its impact. In 3 years, the Confluence Lab has garnered more than $700,000 in external funding support for 8 projects and now includes a 115-member listserv and an active group of faculty, graduate students, postdocs, and interns. The lab is a terrific model of interdisciplinary teamwork and community outreach. The U of I Library is an essential partner for our faculty and students in their research endeavors. The library recently restored access to more than 2,300 academic journals thanks to a 5-year agreement with Elsevier Publishing. We appreciated your patience as we negotiated this contract. The new contract will save the University of Idaho more than $4 million over the next 5 years and provide open access provisions that will allow U of I authors to avoid article processing fees. This was a big win for the University of Idaho. We all owe Ben Hunter a debt of gratitude. This investment in our research and our students is an important step toward the university's goal of reaching R1 research classification and does so without requiring additional funding for the library's collections. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. We're sharing the University of Idaho's compelling story broadly. We have a rich history as a public land grant university serving the state in every county and continue to offer a unique opportunity for Idaho citizens to elevate themselves. Dean Kaler and his team visited high schools throughout the state, encouraging students to pursue higher education, and I joined them whenever I could. We emphasize that a college degree will make you healthier, wealthier, and wiser. While still restricted by the pandemic, this academic year, we visited 30 high schools. We discussed the various higher education choices, such as 2-year or 4-year, or public versus private institutions, the costs and many options to pay for college. and we help students visualize themselves at college. It is difficult work requiring travel to the far reaches of our state, but we are now enjoying the results of all that hard work. One of my favorite stories to tell is how Tom Mueller, a kid out of St. Mary's High School, wanted to be an aerospace mechanic. But his math teacher saw great potential in his student, and he asked Tom whether he wanted to fix engines or design them. Tom really wanted to build rockets. So he attended the College of Engineering at the U of I, and a few years later was the first employee Elon Musk hired at SpaceX. Tom designed and built the Merlin engines that powered the company's Falcon rocket. It's a great story of how higher education in Idaho can illuminate and elevate a hardworking student. I've also personally visited each of our 42 extension offices, 9 research centers, and 4 campuses over the past 2.5 years, and I've seen the impact we make in rural communities. Importantly, our extension personnel are the face of the U of I in these counties. This is how many legislators come to know the University of Idaho. Our extension programs are catered to the needs of their local constituents, and whether it is through 4-H programs, continuing education, or community workshops, they make a big difference for thousands of Idahoans. As I mentioned earlier, we have had our share of budget challenges in the face of the pandemic and cuts to our legislative appropriations. We kept our university open, and that decision helped keep us solvent. We're in a much better position coming out of the pandemic than those institutions that went online. This decision was not made lightly, and finances were not the only factor. We believe our students benefited greatly from their in-person experiences. We all took safety precautions and were diligent in keeping our community safe. Our faculty, staff, and administration made it happen. As the numbers on the slide demonstrate, each year over the past 3 years, our employees did more than we asked them to do financially. You literally saved our university. To protect the university from repeating the same mistakes, we developed a new Vandal hybrid budget model, and the model is incentive-based and aligned with program prioritization metrics. In fiscal year 21, we set metric targets for fall of 22. These included enrollment and persistent targets for college, as well as span of control and customer service targets for support departments. As fiscal year 22 unfolded, we measured our performance, and then based on increased revenue from enrollment growth, new budget allocations in the amount of $2 million were awarded to units across campus, as reflected on the slide. These distributions reflect performance, strategic requirements, and collaboration across the university. Our students have weathered the storm with us over the past 2 years, and I invited one of them to come share with us today. So, Callan Mai has done a tremendous job as ASUI president. It's been a pleasure to work with her and the rest of the student leadership team. Please join me in welcoming Callan Mai.
Good morning. Thank you, President Green, for inviting me to share today. As a student who's graduating next month, first and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to our faculty and staff for all they've done for me and my peers over the past 2 years in particular. The pandemic was a difficult time for us as students, but I know it was very challenging for our professors and the staff that keep the university running. On behalf of the student body at the U of I, thank you. We're so fortunate as U of I students. Many college students across the country were forced to take Zoom classes for a year or more. It took cooperation and a shared commitment to protecting each other, but I'm so grateful that we were able to take classes in person or in a hybrid model to keep our campus community safe. I've been lucky to work closely with many U of I staff members through my involvement in student government. From auxiliary services, academic support services, to signature events and many departments in between, ASUI and the student body have seen tremendous support for academic and extracurricular success. We've worked on many initiatives such as space changes and bringing back a recycling program to campus, all ideas that require massive energy and support from our university community and projects that just wouldn't be possible without their partnership. A specific mentor of mine, Sean O'Neill, who is the director of the Department of Student Involvement and advisor to ASUI, has been there for me along the roller coaster of a ride this year has been. He's taught me how to hone in my leadership skills, how to remain professional and poised, and what a real work ethic looks like. These skills are all things I'm extremely lucky to have as I enter my career very shortly. A longstanding ASUI initiative called Timely Grading asks our faculty members to post their early warning, midterm, and final grades in an efficient way so that students better understand their academic standing. Over the past semesters, we've had some amazing conversations with college deans and faculty members to help better understand why this is so important to students. This semester, 70% of faculty posted early warning grades, which is a 47% increase over the last 2 semesters. Midterm grades are also up, with 81% of faculty entering them on time. These are incredible numbers that really do make a huge difference for students, and we hope they'll continue to rise in future semesters. Students value our faculty and staff's commitment to projects like this more than we will ever be able to express to you. I wouldn't trade my U of I experience for anything. I feel well prepared to embark on my career. My hope is that I'll soon be in a position to give back and provide future Vandals the opportunities I had at the U of I. I was able to get an inside look at the university's fundraising campaign over the past year. I didn't understand the importance of philanthropy at the university before then, but I've realized that scholarships unlock access to college for so many students, and incredible life-changing research happens on our campus because of our donors. The Brave, Bold campaign has raised nearly $100 million for student scholarships already. I'm truly inspired by the generosity of the Vandal family, and it's just one more reason I'm so proud to be a Vandal. Thank you, and go Vandals.
Thank you, Callan. I appreciate your leadership and your hard work over the past year, and you've been a great partner to work with. We launched our Brave Bold, a Promise to Idaho Students campaign in the fall. Our first phase is focused on students, and I'm proud to say our Vandal family is responding in a big way. Callan said it just a moment ago, but I wanted to emphasize the fact that we are closing in on $100 million raised for scholarships and student success programs. In fact, this year will be our most successful fundraising year in our history, surpassing last year's record of $54.4 million. We also set a new record on Vandal Giving Day earlier this month, raising more than $732,000 from 1,446 gifts. The next phase of our campaign, launching this fall, will focus on 2 new areas: sustainability and a healthy, thriving Idaho while continuing to support student success. Sustainability covers a wide swath, from using wood waste as a medium for 3D printing building construction materials, to expanding programs and access to the McCall Outdoor Science School for Idaho's youth. Supporting a healthy, thriving Idaho can mean expanding access to mental health services, or investing in our Vandal Brand Meats program to advance research in animal and meat sciences. We're aiming to empower our faculty and student researchers in agriculture, natural resources, engineering, education, and humanities to find solutions to our state's complex challenges. I am grateful to serve with a team of faculty and staff who share my passion for the U of I. We've endured a tough 3 years together, but our perseverance is paying off, and we're in a great position as a university. I'm excited about the direction we're headed. Before we close, I'd be happy to answer some questions from our audience here in the room or online. You may email questions to president@uidaho.edu, and we'll get to as many as we can today. So again, thank you, and I think I see a hand raised already, or 2.
Thank you, President. Am I on? Thank you, President Green. I'm Sandy Klingler. I work in CAA, and we're very excited right now. We're hiring for 4 faculty positions. The big question, I'm sure you know, is where are they going to live? Have we given any thought as a university to, we have student housing, which is great, but these are students coming over that need a place to live pretty quickly. I'd welcome any thoughts on that, and thanks.
So before you had it, are you talking students or faculty? It wasn't quite clear to me.
Sorry, we have searches going on for 4 faculty members.
Right. So you want to, okay, so you want to know where the faculty are going to live or where the student? Okay, faculty.
The new faculty that are eager to come here, by the way, most of them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a vexing problem, and frankly, I don't have a great solution at this point other than encouraging, and they tell me they're building like crazy, encouraging our private developers to provide more housing, within our community. But I think we're probably going to need some more, creative responses if this continues. We are looking at some things around student housing, but not necessarily faculty. But our multi-family housing, as all of you are probably painfully aware, is dreadful. I don't know how else to say it. These units were built by Boise Cascade back in the 1970s, and we're supposed to have a 30-year life. And some have frankly been condemned. We can't even use them anymore. So we're looking at some pretty, what I'd say creative ways of addressing that problem over the next couple of years. Faculty, though, is something I am also deeply concerned about. If you cannot find affordable housing, within our community, you can't recruit. And so I have talked to our developers here one-on-one, and they assure me, that they're going to be providing solutions. But frankly, the labor market out there is so tight, I don't know how quickly they can deliver. So we're going to have to, get a lot of brain power around this. And if any of have any great ideas, I am open to hearing them.
It's me again. I work in the College of Art and Architecture, full of creative people like everybody's surrounded by. Let's buy some land but if we can buy some land and use it as a student project, build some affordable housing units, but I know that's a bit of a pipe dream.
It's a great idea. We're actually doing it. And believe it or not, your college is doing it. Yeah, Mark Enberg, who's one of our alums, is an architect and a developer out of Portland, is working with students. He's actually provided the capital, short-term capital. He gets a return on that, but to make sure that it could be financed, and they're using student designs and student construction to help and to build affordable housing again. And they do have a parcel of land all set aside, so it is happening. Now, that's not going to solve all of our problems to the point you're trying to make, and I get that, but your idea is already in play. You bet.
Hi there. So I recently learned that the College of Natural Resources got approved for, I think, 2 associate degree programs, and that we were the only 4-year public institution to not have associate degrees, and I wasn't sure if you could share your thoughts if that's something that you would like to see more colleges pursue.
Yeah. So these were very specific degrees. Actually, there were 3, and they're all College of Natural Resources, 2 dealing with forestry and 1 with rangeland wildfire. And frankly, the reason we are producing this was because we heard from our industry partners, as I think I reported last year and at other times, that we traveled around the state and then met a lot of CEOs, and then we got them together into these forums, which was just intellectual gold, these industry summits we called them, and we're hearing from our industry partners about their needs. Well, forestry was particularly loud about their need for people who could safely operate heavy equipment in the forest and apply management techniques to those forests. And it didn't require a bachelor's degree. It didn't take 4 years. They need people now. And our College of Natural Resources responded very quickly to that request. There was no one else in the state. The 2 years didn't like it at all. They fought it, to be honest. But they knew they couldn't deliver it. They didn't have the capital to invest in the equipment. They didn't have the faculty with the knowledge to teach those students how to operate safely and within what we're trying to accomplish within our forests. And so the state board unanimously approved it. So I see that as kind of a unique situation. There is one other thing that we would like to do, and the state board actually opened it up to us in their commentary, and it's something I've been talking to Sean about and our provost, Tori Lawrence, for a couple of years now, and that's, can we offer associate degrees to those folks who may not be able to finish their 4 years here? So that might be another one, but I don't see associate degrees as our path forward. CTE and that sort of thing really is the domain of the 2 years, I believe. But where we have statewide responsibility and where no one else can provide those types of programs, I would be in favor of then offering those associate's degrees in those particular instances. So hopefully that answers your question. Now, I am very much in favor of certificates, which might surprise you, because that's another thing that we've heard from our industry partners. Are there things that we can offer in continuing education or while folks are on campus that will give them that specialized expertise that they're looking for? So we'll be looking really hard at that as well. It's a big group, it's a big area, and frankly, we're a bit behind on it as a university, but have a lot of confidence we'll catch up and actually surpass what others are doing because we've got the people and the horsepower to do it. Anything online? Oh, okay. I'm here all week. Well, go ahead. Yeah, Shauna.
Well, this isn't a question, but I just want to thank you for the incredible Faculty Staff Awards yesterday. It was the first time, as everyone knows, we've had it together, and I thought it was the best awards we've ever had, and it was just great that we were all in the same room together, celebrating everyone's accomplishments, and then we had a great dinner afterwards. It felt like a family reunion, so thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Yeah. Anything else over there? Yes.
Online question, is the university going to be more competitive in wages and create more jobs for mental health providers? Follow-up question, what are the plans for investing in student mental health? We need a lot more than the few providers we see now.
Yeah. Yes, good question. We're doing everything we can to be more competitive. Obviously we made some progress with the legislature this year, not as much as I would have liked, but it's a start, and certainly better than what we experienced the last couple of years. Regarding mental health, it's an area we're all focused on, in many different ways, but I assume they're talking about our counseling center, and we did, fortunately hire a new position in that area before the pandemic, because boy, did we need it. And we also, worked hard to make sure that our salaries were competitive in that area. We met the market there just to ensure that we didn't lose anybody. I think we'll keep looking at that and determining, as the pandemic wanes, what kind of demand we have. But, that is, it is a tough job. I couldn't do what they do, working 8 hours and was under very stressful circumstances. We're all tired, but they're special people to be able to deal with, and have the capacity to deal with what they're dealing with. So, they have my support, and we'll continue to look at it and do what we need to do to make sure that we have the capacity to meet the needs of our students. So. Okay. Well, I appreciate the great turnout. I appreciate you all being here. Again, I'm very proud to be your president. I just can't believe what we've been through this last 3 years and what we've accomplished. And the future's bright. And there's still a lot of work we have to do. But I'm very confident in where we're headed. So I hope you are too. I think our best days are yet ahead of us. So with that, I'll just say thank you again, and Go Vandals.